Shalom Akim. Before I begin this video, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule very well. That's continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. That's continually doing his work here strong for more than 30 years. And shalom to the hopefully elect Sincere Akim that's also doing his work in all faith and sincerity and in all diligence. Now, the topic of this video is gonna be another installment of the series called Series of Events or Sequence of Events, Salakia. And in this one, in this installment, pretty much gonna be going over the Mark of the Beast, because in the last part, which I just recently did, was concerning the famine of the word, in which we're coming into that time pretty soon, to where you won't be hearing from the prophets of the Lord. You won't be able to get this information anymore. You won't be able to get this truth, because they're right now they're in the process of demonizing us to sending up agent provocateurs, and crisis actors to set the scene to where they pretty much have the face of Jake in front of it. All right. And it's no coincidence that they put guys that have beards on their faces, to pretty much put a label on them, But like I said before, that just falls right in line with prophecy, which, we already knew that was going to happen. So, so that's just letting you know that Amos 8:11 is pretty much on its way quickly. Okay, but not to get too far off topic, just to jump back into the topic, should I say? This is concerning the Mark of the Beast, which is pretty much this is what we've been speaking about for a long time. All right, this is what we've been speaking about for a long time, and we've been telling you people, the ones that you that hear, that the Mark of the Beast was pretty much on its way at one point, but now it's here. All right, now it's here right in front of your eyes, because people are taking it now. All right, even big companies over in the other parts of the world, they're taking it. All right, because these people don't realize that that's the Mark of the Beast, or and you have people that do realize that's the Mark of the Beast, but they still take it anyway. All right, but just to go ahead and jump into the scriptures, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 12. And it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right. So it says, pretty much, let's see, you can go up a verse up. Yep. Now, I'll start at verse 11. It says, I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, because those two horns, which is like a lamb, represents the Republicans and the Democrats. All right, and just like the Roman Empire. All right, because the Roman Empire had two parties as well. They had the plebeians and the patricians. All right, and the reason why I said he spake as a dragon, because America is pretty much falls right in the same mode, on the same operation as the Roman Empire. Now, this is verse 12. It said, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right, so that first beast that I was talking about, in which he exercises the power of the first beast, is talking about the Roman Empire. All right, because America is the revived Roman Empire. All right, that's why it says the deadly wound was healed. All right, because if you look around, you can see the same architecture, you can see the same society, the way it's built up, and pretty much the way the government is set up. All right, you have the Senate, you have the House of Congress, you have the once again, you have the Republicans, you have the Democrats. and so on and so forth. So the same system that was set up back in the Roman Empire is back here again. All right, but it only has another name on it. All right. And it says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire coming down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. All right, talking about the military might. All right, that nuclear capability. All right, those missiles. And it said, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. All right. So it says he deceived them. We're just talking about these peons out here, right? It said by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, in which the image is talking about. That's not talking about Cesare Borgia, man. All right. They're not talking about Cesare Borgia because, even though Cesare Borgia is they pretty much set up him as being, the son of the Most High back during the Renaissance period, that being a false image, but that's not what we're talking about. All right, because this image to the beast is talking about the system, this government. All right, because these elites, which is these banking families, so-called elites, which is the international banking families that run the world. All right, that has all the money that they can have. All right, they pretty much have an agenda. All right, and that agenda is to pretty much have everybody as one people, being under one system, being under one government. All right. That's why there's a Latin phrase that is pretty much that they use. It's called e pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. All right. And the reason why they have that phrase is because that's their agenda. That's their objective, is to bring everybody as one. All right. It's pretty much falls right in line with humanism. All right. Because the thing about humanism, you pretty much for humans, you for everybody. All right. Saying that everybody's the same. All right. In which the Lord of the Bible is not for that. All right. You can read it up on yourself, man. And there's many scriptures that show you that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is not with everyone being one. Okay. And one example I can call out, I'm not going to get it right now because it's pretty much, it's well known. It's the Tower of Babel. All right. You have these different people coming together with one language, right, in which bears similarity to how it is today, which English being a universal language, and pretty much coming together for one cause, in which Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, just to make the story short for the sake of time and the lesson, pretty much he confounded their languages to where they couldn't understand one another, and they left off from building the tower. All right, because why is that? All right, it wasn't, it not only was for pride, like they always say, but it was because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua wanted division. He didn't want everybody to be together and be one people. All right, he wanted everyone to have their own inheritance. They wanted to have their own lands. Okay. But it's just like today, man. They building up that same tower again today. All right. There's verse 15. It say, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. That's why, once again, they demonize it because we don't worship the image of the beast. All right. We don't follow the customs of these people, these modern day Babylonians, as we call them. That pretty much, they do everything that a regular American would do. All right, because we don't call ourselves Americans, we call ourselves Hebrew Israelites. That's our true nationality. All right, we're not Americans. because the word American goes back to a so-called white man by the name of Amerigo Vespucci. All right, that's where you get the word America from. Because before then, this land that we're standing on right now wasn't called America back then, but they named it America, just like they named it that continent was called Africa. That's back then in ancient times it was called the land of Ham, but the so-called white man by the name of Leo Scipio Africanus named it after himself. All right, and that was during the I believe it was the Second Punic Wars. All right, that was around the time when Hannibal Barca was around. All right, but Leo Scipio Africanus pretty much won that battle against him. All right, and now reading on, it says verse 16, and this is the point of this pretty much drives the lesson home. It said, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right. So this precept, man, says he caused all, which is talking about everybody, right? Small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, which is every single person, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. Now that mark is not talking about a barcode or whatever. That's actually going deeper than that. It's not talking about, a tattoo or whatever. No, that's not what it's talking about. Because the word mark, it breaks down to the Greek word charagma, which breaks down into the root word charox. So that word charagma, which is the Greek word for mark, means something that's implanted. All right, it's something that's physical, that's implanted within the skin. All right, that's why it says it's to receive a mark, right, which is charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, and it doesn't necessarily mean your right hand. Okay, the reason why it says your right hand what it means by your right hand is talking about the hand that you're most comfortable with. All right. And not only that, you got people out there that are saying, well, if I don't receive it in my right hand, well, I can get it in my left hand. No, it doesn't matter, because that right there where it says right hand, it doesn't matter which hand you get it in, because it said whichever hand that you're comfortable with. All right. And it says in their foreheads as well, because people are saying that, well, if I don't get it in my forehead, then maybe I can get it in, my leg or something, my left leg or my right leg, or my foot. It doesn't matter. All right, because you received that mark. All right, now you belong to the international bankers now. All right, now you're a part. Now you integrate into the image of the beast, that system that I was talking about earlier. All right. And in their what it means by in their forehead, it's talking about you even have chips that implanted within the brain. All right, yeah, because these Edomites are capable of doing that in these hospitals. All right. It says verse 17. It's saying that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, which we're gonna come into that time pretty soon, because the economy is not looking so good, man. All right, the economy is on a one-way ticket to collapse. All right, at that point in time, the dollar is not even going to be any worth anymore. It's just going to be used as toilet paper. So the only form of currency that is going to be available to these Americans is that chip. All right, which is the mark of the beast, should I say, is the RFID microchip or NFC chip, in which I don't think I revealed that yet, but that's what it's talking about, the microchip. All right, in which you have to receive that chip in order to even function in society. If you don't have that chip, you're not going to be able to live, man. All right, and that's where faith comes in for the elect. All right, because the one that's not going to take it, they're gonna have to fall back on Yahweh Shem Yahushua because they're not gonna be able to have that resource that Esau is providing along with that chip. All right. So during that time, it's gonna be a time of the test of great faith, man. All right, because you're not gonna have access to your necessary needs. Like food, water, transportation. You're not gonna be able to have that, man. Okay. I said verse 17 again. It says, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right. It says, here's wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 600 talking about 666. All right. Which that's once again, that's the number of man, the number 6. All right. That's in numerology. All right. So the reason why it says that because and I can see why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai put it in the scriptures about 600 because that being the number of man, because you got other Israelite groups saying that the mark of the beast is Christianity. But why is 600 here? Why does it say it's a number of a man? If you're saying that the mark of the beast is a religion or an embargo. All right. In other words, it's physical. That's why that number 6 is there. 600 because it's physical. All right. But going on from there, I had another scripture in mind that I wanted to get. Okay, Revelations 3 and 10. Let's see if I can get it real quick. Bear with me for 1 second. All right, so this is the book of Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, talking about the elect, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. That's why scripture say it. It said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. In other words, patiently waiting, because during that time, it's going to be deemed the hour of temptation. All right, like it says right here, it says, I also would keep thee from the hour of temptation. So during the time when the mark of the beast is implemented, you're not going to be able to have those resources. All right. And at that time, you have to pretty much be patient and have faith on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And that's why he said, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So in other words, he's going to take care of you, man. All right. In any way possible. He said, which shall come upon all the world to try them to dwell upon the earth. And these people, out here, especially 2/3 J's, they're not going to be able to withstand in that day. All right. Because, they're going to have certain liabilities to where they can't, they have no choice but to take that chip. Or it might be their family, might be their woman, might be their children, might be even their own lives, But that's the hour of temptation that we're coming into, in which in the next installment, we're pretty much going over Jacob's trouble, because that's falls right in line with the mark of the beast. And that's one way that these devils are gonna force even their own people, right? Edomites, because you got patriots out there that's not gonna be with it. All right, so pretty much, that ties right into martial law, which I'm gonna cover in the next installment. Now this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, and I'm gonna start at verse. So I'm going out a little bit further. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Now, get this, it didn't say right hand this time. Right now, it just says hand. All right, so really, there's no way around that. All right. Verse 10. Okay. It said, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right. So say any one of you receive that mark, right? If you worship the beast in his image and receive his mark, in which that's what you're doing when you even receive the chip. All right. When you see that chip, you're really worshiping the beast in his image. All right. And not only that, you're really you're for the American way, the way of life. You want a slice of the American pie. All right, you're into all types of practices concerning America. It doesn't necessarily be holidays and stuff like that. It can be more than that, man. Participating in in different, especially concerning the community. All right, because these devils are all about bigging up the community and stuff like that, in which really they're worshiping. I don't remember correctly which god it was, but they're worshiping. I think it was Baal Berith. If I'm not mistaken, I have to look in my notes for it again. But they're worshiping the God of the community by doing that, man. All right. And that's what they're making these people do when they pretty much try to get them to, support the community and stuff of that nature, especially these churches, man. These churches are all big into the community too, man. All right. And they're guilty of that. All right. But again, getting back on the topic, man, it says you're going to drink the wine of the wrath of the Most High. All right. And it says you're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels. And really, you're going to be tormented in fire and brimstone in the presence of the elect too. All right. Because the elect is also a part of those holy angels. All right. In the presence of the Lamb. All right. So you're going to be burnt right in front of the elect and right in front of Yahweh Shai. All right. And saying the smoke of their torment ascended up forever. Verse 11. And ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. All right. So that's pretty much it on that, man. That covers all bases concerning this lesson. But that just goes to show you that, we're inching up closer and closer to the mark of the beast, because as you can see in the news, pretty much, the war drums are beating harder and harder. All right. And see, this prophecy is concerning the mark of the beast. All right. And concerning martial law and concerning the famine of the word, all these things got to come to pass, because World War III is going to usher in that thermonuclear destruction. OK. So we just had to wait, brothers. So with that pretty much ends the lesson. Hopefully y'all can be edified with this video and this installment, this series. And until next time, putting up the next installment, which is going to concern martial law and Jacob's trouble. All right. So once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule very well, that continually rule well. And shalom, peace and safety to the hopeful elect and the sincere Akim that's doing this work in all diligence, in all faith, in truth and sincerity, pretty much giving it 110%, man. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.